Hi, this is Carmen Ortiz, and we're going to talk about 5 reasons why it is of extreme importance to transition from financial education, financial literacy, to transcendent financial planning. Hi, this is Carmen Ortiz. I am a certified financial planner since 1988, and I have been a financial educator since then as well. And here in this video, I want to talk about why we need to transition. I came up with 5 reasons, but there are more, but these are the 5 that I came up with for this video, that we need to transition from financial education, financial literacy approach or program or service to transcendent financial planning. And I feel I need to define transcendent financial planning because transcendent financial planning includes and transcends traditional financial planning. And traditional financial planning is the type of financial planning that is brought to the world, is promoted in the world by the International Board of Standards or International Standards Board of Certified Financial Planners. I've been a certified financial planner since 1988, and I know these standards very well. And traditional financial planning is comprehensive. It's comprehensive. It covers many territories, 7 steps, and many, many elements. And but most of us, when we are presented with a financial advisor or financial planner that says, hey, would you like to be involved in financial planning? First thing is, in many instances, it does not include financial education or financial knowledge. Okay, they want to have the power, right? So the less knowledge you have, the more power the advisor has. Okay, and number 2, this financial planning typically Hi, this is Carmen Ortiz, and I want to talk to you about why we need to transition from financial education to transcendent financial planning today more than ever. Because today people are suffering financially, as we all know, and the economic system is not working for the majority of people. Lots of confusion. Technological advances have brought to us many tools, platforms that we can use to manage our credit, to manage our finances, our cash flow, to purchase life insurance on our own, to make investments on our own. So we're like out there in the middle of the ocean with all of these technological tools, and we could manage our money on our own. But how do you do that if you don't have the knowledge, the practical knowledge? Impossible. So you need the practical financial education. Yes, personal finance knowledge. But also we've got hundreds of thousands of financial advisors, right? And which bring more confusion to the picture because now we're confused with all these tools that we can use on our own. And then we've got all these financial advisors saying, but wait a minute, I'm here. Why don't you hire me and work with me and I can help you purchase your annuity or your life insurance, or create an IRA for you and manage your money inside of the IRA, make investments for you, etc. In many occasions, these financial advisors, including financial planners, talk about what they're offering as if it was financial planning. I can help you with your financial planning. I can help you with, with the purchase of this and that. And really, what they're doing is they're selling financial products and financial services. That's what they do. They are not engaging with the public in real financial planning. Real financial planning is the type of planning that follows standards that have been developed and continue to be updated by the International Board of Standards of Certified Financial Planners. Now, I've been a certified financial planner, like CFP, since 1988. And every couple of years, I have to study the standards and I have to take a test to make sure that I'm up to date with those standards. And that traditional financial planning is comprehensive. It's got 7 steps. It's a 7-step process, and it focuses on meeting our needs and our financial goals. And it's got many elements to it. Okay, and that's traditional financial planning. But then we've got another level of financial planning that was created in the late 90s by George Kinder and Dick Wagner. And it's called life-centered financial planning, because traditional financial planning, though it's got all the standards that we have to follow, is not focused on your life, on your heart, on your life's purpose. It's focused really on your money. So in the late 90s, George Kinder and Dick Wagner came up with what's called life-centered financial planning. It's another level, because there the center is you, it's your life. It's a beautiful thing. Now, in 2025, I'm coming to the world with a type of financial planning that includes traditional financial planning, includes life-centered financial planning, and transcends them, takes them to another level. And we're calling it Transcendent financial planning. And this is a type of financial planning where the center is the well-being of all of humanity and of the planet, starting with you. So you take care of yourself so that you can be empowered and freed up without any conflicts and without any fears to go out and live your life's purpose, which is to serve humanity and the planet. So it goes, Transcendent financial planning goes from the me and even from the we to the all, to the all. It's like, when we spend our money, how is that affecting the environment, nature, animals? It's the well-being of all. That's the focus in Transcendent financial planning, humanity and the planet. Okay. So 5 reasons. Reason number 1, why financial education is not enough, is because it lacks directions. It doesn't give you the direction that you need. It provides you with knowledge about budgeting and saving and investing, but it doesn't offer you a clear path. When you go through a financial education program, you're not going to come out with a clear path to achieve specific financial goals. Okay, so only through financial planning can we do that. The shortcomings of financial education are addressed with the next step. The second reason why we need to transition from financial education to transcendent financial planning is because through the education process, you don't necessarily set your own priorities, your own individual financial needs, and even more so, your short-term, intermediate, and long-term financial goals. So you need a comprehensive financial plans in order to address your specific and individualized financial goals. Let's go to reason number 3. Here, we're talking about inadequate risk management, because when you are engaged in a financial literacy program, you may learn about the importance of insurance. Okay? And the third reason is inadequate risk management. In financial education programs, you do learn, or you should learn, about the different types of insurance. insurance policies, life insurance, disability insurance, liability insurance, long-term care insurance, etc. But that educational process does not necessarily equip you with the tools so that you can assess, you can evaluate, and you can manage the various financial risks that you are exposed to. And risks are an individualized, concept. In other words, every person is exposed to particular types of financial risk. And these risks can include, for example, outliving your income. It could include estate planning risk, tax risks, etc. So there's many types of risks. And again, through financial education, when typically in a financial education program, when you talk about risks, you're talking about protection through insurance. Has a very limited approach, and it's also not individualized, not personalized. So that's the third reason why we need to move from financial education to transcendent financial planning. Let's go to the fourth reason is limited long-term thinking. Financial education often focuses on short-term behaviors, financial behaviors, such as budgeting, managing your credit, okay, without addressing long-term considerations, such as retirement planning and financial independence sometime in the future. Okay, so again, short-term approach, financial education, transcendent financial planning goes from the short term to the intermediate to the long term, and in an individualized, personalized fashion. Okay. And the fifth reason is that financial education programs tend to ignore behavioral issues. In other words, the emotional, psychological, and even spiritual aspects of managing our money. And even the most financially literate individuals can fall victim to behavioral biases that affect their financial decision making, such as, for example, childhood traumas that are now here in the present, haunting them and impacting directly how their consciousness and how they manage their money. Here in reason number 2, we also, in transcendent financial planning, we get into awareness, consciousness, beliefs about money. Okay? And financial education programs, for the most part, are not going to deal with you as a holistic being. The focus is really going to be about money and your money behaviors. Okay? So another reason to move towards integral, holistic, transcendent financial planning. And with that, we conclude this presentation.